Hey guys, Steve Vigil here, full-time real estate investor here in Houston, Texas, and the greater surrounding area. Like to give a lot of good education. We've also got an education company, and education is very important to us, making sure that we can get out there and give you guys some wonderful information. And I've been doing a lot of videos lately about passive investing, private lenders, private mortgage lending. And the reason I've been going down this path is because we, as investors, we are private lender people from the standpoint of we've borrowed millions and millions of dollars to do all of our deals over the years. We've also lent money out to borrowers as well. So we've got a pretty good perspective of how we think we need to work as a private lender and as a borrower. And I think it's important that we get this education out in front of people, because we see so many things happen that shouldn't happen in this area. And I don't want to see individuals get hurt and lose any money when you've worked all your lives for this to earn this money. You want to hang on to it and grow it. And that's the education that we're trying to give you here. So I'm going to do a little screen share here and we'll get into this presentation. Okay. Does your borrower have a system in place for lending their money? This is an area that I think we really need to talk about, and I really want to point out a few things here, because I see this done incorrectly a lot. And if you are going to lend your money out to someone, I want to know that I'm working with a borrower that has a proven system of how they do business. I want to know that they're a very honest and ethical person. And so just some things that we do when we're on the borrowing side for our lenders. I think this is really important. So when you decide to move forward on a deal, does the borrower have a questionnaire? Generally when you are going to do a deal with someone, an attorney's got to write up the paperwork, do the promissory note, deed of trust, and that kind of stuff, which is very important, has to be done correctly. And for all of our, if we're the borrowers, for all of our lenders, we actually have a questionnaire that comes from our attorney. And because we know all of our lenders very well, and even when we're bringing a new lender on, we want to make sure that we're making the process as easy as possible for them. So the questionnaire for our attorney, we actually will fill that out if our lender wants us to fill that out. By this time in doing a deal with someone, you should have a lot of the information, because you've already discussed all these things prior to ever doing this deal. You've gotten to know this lender's gotten to know you as a borrower. And so you're going to have a pretty good idea of how to fill most of this information out. Now, we fill the questionnaire out. Then we send that questionnaire to our lender to check it and approve it. I think that's extremely important, that it's checked and approved. And then when they agree that everything looks good, then we will send it to the attorney. The idea in us doing that is we want to make it as easy as possible for our lenders when we're the borrower. And so if I'm going to be the lender, I want to have borrowers that think the same way. Not necessarily 100%, but I want them to have those types of a thought process. So I know that I'm working with someone well if they're taking the initiative in doing that. I think that's really important. So we get that paperwork done. Then once our attorney, actually the attorney is working for the lender, it's not working for me as the borrower. But once the attorney gets the paperwork done, then we actually check the paperwork to make sure there's no mistakes. Once we feel that the paperwork looks correct, then we send it to our lender again to check it and approve it. Once our lender has checked and approved the documents, the deed of trust, promissory note, make sure all the details are correct, then we send that back to our attorney. Everything is correct. Send everything to the title company so we can move forward on the deal. I point this out because I think making sure that this is crucial paperwork that could make you or break you in a deal if something goes wrong. As long as everything goes good, we don't have problems. It's when things go bad. And this is an area where we want to make sure that we have everything correct in case something goes wrong. So our lender is protected at all costs. So we then get that off to the title company, and then we move forward and get the deal closed. One thing that I have seen lately, and I've actually had people come to me where agreements have been done between a borrower and a borrower and a lender, but the paperwork was not coming from an attorney. The paperwork was coming from the individual that wanted to borrow the money. So that can be a very bad thing, and I don't suggest you ever do that. A little quick story: I had a lady come to me, and she was the lender, and that's exactly what she did. She lent money out to someone, and she brought me the contract that this individual had written up himself, a little 2-page contract, and it didn't tie her money to any properties. It basically, all the paperwork said was, you're lending me this money and I'll pay you this percentage, but there was nothing backing that loan. Not a good thing. There was also no time frame in when he had to pay this money back to her. Even a worse situation. And the reason she was coming to me was because now she couldn't get a hold of this individual. This person kept dodging her on the phone, wouldn't take her calls. When they met to sign the paperwork, we meet, when we're doing closing, we're meeting at a title company. If we're doing, we also do a note program with existing notes. That's done a little bit different, but it's all still paperwork coming from an attorney. Everything has to be notarized, the whole bit. But they met to do the paperwork at a Denny's for breakfast. He pulled out his little 2-page contract. She signed the contract. Then she gave this individual 3 cashier's checks for a total of $100,000. Very, very bad situation. She probably will never see that money back again. This is someone who's worked very hard for that money for many years. You don't want to put yourself in those types of situations. So you always want to make sure that the paperwork is coming from an attorney. That is very, very crucial no matter what. And then, making sure that you have some standard terms in place. So when doing the paperwork, it becomes very easy and you can move forward and have great success in a deal. So let me get off my screen share here. And so I bring this up because I think it's crucial to always make sure that you've got paperwork coming from an attorney. It's done correctly. Also with this, another point I'm trying to make is, if you're the borrower, make it as easy as you can for your lenders. The more you can help out your lenders, the more they like working for you, the more they like working with you. So be sure and do that. This is what we do on every single deal. We try to make it a very simple process, and we have great success doing that, and our lenders love coming back and working with us when we do that. So hope I've given you some very good insight here, some good tips. If you like the information I'm giving you, the education I'm throwing out there, hey, give me a thumbs up, give me a likes. Make sure that you let everybody know about our YouTube channels and about these videos so we can get out there and share it with everybody else. And until the next video, guys, have a great day.